In today's video, we're going to build a plastic drinking cup in Blender with a logo and a scene. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to do is custom area is go in and clear my viewport here by taking the logo out. Next thing I'm going to do is bring in a circle mesh primitive, change the vertices to 16 because that should be enough. And go into edit mode, and I want to start extruding this thing upward on the Z-axis. Once we get to the top, I want to go ahead and scale this out with S slightly because I'm trying to make the curvature of the cup. Then I'm going to extrude it out and size it, bring it up on Z, and this is going to be like the rim of the cup. Then I'm going to do the same thing again, but just slightly, bring it up on Z, and this is going to be the lip of the cup. Now, while I'm in here, I want to go ahead and fill in the inside. So I'm going to extrude and scale it down, bring it all the way down to where that breaks into the shape there. And I'm going to extrude and scale it again, and then bring it all the way down on Z. And then if you can't see the viewport, just drag down and hit G and bring it down and then scale it in. And what I'm trying to do is trying to make these lines here parallel to one another, the inside and the outside. And then I'm going to extrude and scale inward a few times because I'm building the bottom of the cup. And I'm going to grid fill it just so we have an all quad solution here. And now I'm going to work on the bottom. So I'm going to grab that bottom edge there and do the same thing. I'm going to extrude, scale, and do that all the way till I get to the end. I'm going to grid fill it. Now, if you look at one of these cups, it has like a little divot area where the cup, I guess it's the mold of how they make it. It goes up a little bit and then it comes down to a little point. We're going to mimic that here in a second. All right, so let's go ahead and grid fill that. So next thing I want to do is I want to model in that detail I was talking about. So what I did is I went in and did a circular selection. So I'm going in here and select all these faces, but not everybody, just only the faces I want to make some changes to. And I want to extrude this up on Z. Then I want to scale it inward like that. And bring it down just a little bit. And that looks pretty good. And now I'm going to bottom ortho, and I want to grab just that little circle where that grid fill is in the center. I'm going to go to Loop Tools, make that a circular selection, inset it, and then I can extrude it downward on Z to make that little point. And then I can scale it inward to make a point. And there you go. So now let's just give the inside of the cup some attention. So I want to do something similar, but not exactly the same. So I'm going to select these four faces and hit Control+ to expand my selection. And I just want to divot this inward just a little bit. So I'm going to extrude this down on Z, but make sure not to eat into the geometry below it, and then scale it inward just like before. And that's all I really wanted to do. Next, I want to come in here and I want to tighten up some of the geometry with bevels in preparation for our subdivision surface modifier. So I'm going to select these hard edges right there that I want to stay hard edges. And I'm going to give them a tight little bevel, just like we do in a lot of models. I'm going to do 2 segments. I'm going to change the mighty outer to arc. And then I want to come down here at this bottom edge and give it a fatter bevel. Not a fat one, but a fatter bevel. And then I want to deal with these little details inside of here. So let's select everything and recalculate normals just to be safe. Now I can come back in here and give these some little bevels. Now to get that little edge around that little point, give it a tight little bevel here. That'll do it. Now that we've taken care of that, the next order of business is to look at this cup and look at these vertical lines that are here. So let's put a loop cut as horizontal right here in the middle. Let's bevel it up. This is going to give us some kind of edge definition on our loop cuts here. And now what I want to do is I want to go to edge select mode in front ortho, and I want to select all these edges that are vertical. So I'm going to rear ortho, do the same thing. And I'm just kind of looking it over, make sure my selection is good. Now I'm going to bevel these. I could have used a crease as well, but I think in my case here, bevel is just going to be a little bit cleaner looking. And I want to put some support loops here to add in some geometry. Don't need to go wild. And let's do the same thing on the inside of the cup. Let's grab these sharp edges here and let's put little tight bevels on them. Because when sub D runs, I want it to look really nice there. So we put a little bit fatter bevel here. And then we're going to deal with the inside of the cup here just like we did on the bottom. You don't have to use exact same values, but just relatively similar. And that's looking pretty good to me. And I'm going to save my file and let's take a look at what we have here. So let's go back into front ortho. Let's go to edge selection, and I want to put a loop cut right around here at the lip of the cup, and I want to scale it outward. That's going to give it a nice rounded look when sub D hits it. And that's good. And let's give some geometry here as well. That's going to tighten that lip up a little bit. Run a level 2 sub D. And it looks a little weird. I'm getting a little bit of funky looking stuff down there, but I know these are long faces and it just needs geometry. So when I put these loop cuts in here, that's going to tighten it up a lot, as you can see. So let's do the same thing on the inside of the cup. And put some support geometry in here. And that's looking pretty good. Let me disable sub D right quick so I can see what I'm doing. And in object mode, that looks pretty nice. So let's turn sub D back on. And let's shade smooth it. Yeah, looks good. That was quick. We're done modeling the cup. Now for the fun part, we're going to set up our scene. So first order of business is to bring in a plane mesh primitive. I'm in edit mode and I want to scale it up 7 times its original size. I want to subdivide it 6 times. That gives us a lot of geometry for deformation. And now that we've got that, I'm going to duplicate it. And I want to rotate that duplicated plane on the x-axis by 90 degrees. That's going to serve as our background wall element. And I'm going to move it closer to the floor plane, which essentially is going to be a table in our scene here. Let's make sure that with that wall plane, we just bring it up on the z-axis. So we have a nice tall wall there, and that'll look nice. So now I'm in front ortho. I want to go ahead and bring my camera in and reposition it. And that's a perspective camera, so it won't be flat. And that's just what we want. So I'm going to make this one square, 1920 by 1920. And let's change the focal length to 80 millimeters. So it'll be a nice portrait kind of shot. And then we can dolly it out. And I just want to kind of center it up to get a nice composition here. So I'm going to bring on my viewport display. I'm going to turn Passepartout all the way up, and then I'm going to turn on the center composition guide. And I'm going to line it right on that vertical line right there. Just kind of eyeballing it and thinking in my head how I want this scene to look. So now we're going to do the part where we bring in the logo. So I want to bring in a mesh plane. I selected a PNG file that I actually had stored in the textures folder. And I'm just going to kind of position it. I'm going to go to edit mode, scale it the size I want it, and then I'm going to subdivide it because I need for it to deform to the cup. There are many ways of doing this. Some of these ways you can do it with shaders, but this is quick and dirty and it works. You can use texture paint as well, but texture paint is probably the best way of doing it. But like I said, for one little logo here, this will totally work. And I'm going to go to cycles. But before we do that, let's go ahead and go into deform and add a shrink wrap modifier. The target's going to be the cup, and all we got to do is play with the offset. A lot of times I used to use 0.001, and it gets it right up above the surface, just like you see here. That looks pretty good. And before we get too far ahead of our skis here and making this thing, let's go ahead and rename those files so we know what models those are, and let's put them in the collection. You can name your files whatever, or you can copy what I've done. And I want to make sure I parent the logo to the cup. All right, looks good. So now let's go to render view, which is in this case is cycles. And let's get rid of that default point light. And I'm going to bring my own lights in here to the scene. So now let's go back into camera view. And let's start bringing some lights in here. So this first light is an area light that I want to illuminate that backdrop. I'm not trying to illuminate the back of the cup. I've got the light pointing right at that wall. And you're going to see why here in a minute. So I did change it to a point light because I think that's just a better light for what I'm trying to do here for that specific one. And now let's bring in some area lights for the cup. So I just want to illuminate the cup, get some good, nice lighting on it, nice subtle lighting. I want you to be able to see the ridges in the cup. And I don't want any areas of the cup to be blown out or overexposed. But I also don't want any parts of the cup to be underexposed. So let's bring a big area light up here, scale it up. And I'm going to leave it there for now. Let's play with this one here. Just going to scale it down so we shoot a lot of light out on the sides here. And my spread is still at 180, but I need to condense it down once I get that light position like I want it. Play with the power here. And now we're going to that big main area light again. I'm just going to angle it at that cup. Let some of that light spill over the top and down the opposite side of the lip of the cup. And then I'm going to crank down that spread to kind of condense that light at the cup. And then from there, we can play with the power. So now I'm bringing in another light that I want to be up here just to add a little bit more throw light up on that wall. It's not quite enough because in my head, I know what I want to do. So now I'm going into the world settings under the surface, and I'm going to crank down the strength on that. That's the overall light in the scene. Excuse me, I think I cranked it up. So from 1, I think I went to 1.3. So now I'm selecting the wall and I want to put a displacement modifier on there. And the type of displacement I want to use is noise. And right now that looks crazy, which is fine. So I'm going to go back in the modifier settings. I'm going to crank the strength down quite a bit because we're going to use a brick texture back here. And I want it to have some kind of noisy displacement to make the brick a little bit more real. I don't want it to look like a texture just stuck up there. So you can see it in the background. We haven't put any texture map on it yet, but we're getting ready to. So now I'm back into Blender Kit, which you know I love. And I'm going into materials and I'm looking for wall as the search. And I'm just kind of looking around at these brick and rock materials until I found one I like for this particular scene. Oh yeah, there it is. So now the brick's like super small. It looks like tiled and everything. So what we need to do here is we need to do UV unwrapping of that wall. So we're going to do that real quick. And let's see what we have. So the scale is right, but the brick looks like it's shifted like 90 degrees. So let's go back in there and let's just take the island there and rotate it 90 degrees. Now let's go back and look at it. It should be right by now. Let me get out of edit mode so I can see what yeah, there you go. And look at the detail. Look how real that brick looks. The displacement is subtle, but it helps a lot. So now that we've got that, let's go ahead and grab that ground plane, which is going to serve kind of like a table. And I'm just kind of looking at some materials here. Going to do the same thing. UV edit it. And as we see, the same problem, we need to rotate it, which is fine. It's easy. I'm holding down control so it does it in steps. And it's snapping. Wood looks a little dark, but at least the orientation is correct. So when we go in and change the texture, it'll do right. I'll find a better texture that'll match that brick. So notice now we've applied this and it didn't save the settings. So I'm gonna go ahead and UV unwrap this again and I'm gonna pack it. I really didn't need to make that change. It's just habit because I usually have multiple parts. So yeah, that looks good. And I'm looking at that table. I think displacement is being displayed there, but I can't tell. So let me look down here in the settings just to make sure. Yeah, it is. Okay, good. It's just hard to see. That means my lighting on that table's a bit flat because I can't really tell. It's not capturing shadows. So let me pull over a new window here and I'm going to go to the shader editor. Move that end panel out of the way. And I want to change the scale because the wood planks will look a bit small to me. So I'm going to bring in a value node, plug it into scale, and then I'm just going to scale them all up. Which technically in Blender is scaling it down, which makes it bigger. So I'm okay with that. Next, I want to bring in an empty that I end up not using, by the way. But the reason why I wanted to use an empty is I was going to use depth of field on the camera, and I was going to use the empty as the item that we target the focus on. But I ended up using distance, so you guys will see that here in a second. So now I'm back in camera view. I'm going to camera, go to camera options. I'm going to turn on depth of field because I want it to have a nice bokeh effect. And I'm going to focus distance, select the cup. And now I'm going to play with the f-stop. You don't want to crank this down too much because then it'll look fake. It'll look like a miniature. So just kind of play with this where it looks like a natural bokeh effect that you get with a nice natural lens on a camera. And save your file, of course. Now I want to bring in another light because it's a little dead looking up there in that upper left corner. So I'm going to bring a area light up here. I'm going to play with the power, and I want it to look like either a spotlight or some track lights in a bar or eating place. And really what I'm trying to do is draw some attention to the detail of the brick and also put some nice lighting on the table and the side of the cup up there. So there you are. We're done. You've done it again. Great job, guys. Here's the final render. And while we're looking at that, I want you to pat yourselves on the back because you've done yet a great job again. We're going to do more videos, and like I've said on the past 2 or 3 videos, I'm going to try to start cranking these up. I still haven't quite found the time to do a lot of these videos, but working on it. But if these videos are helpful, let me know in the comments because people are not very active there. Also, if you have any requests for anything, let me know. But in the meantime, in order to see more content from me and keep me motivated to keep doing it, like and subscribe and ring that notification bell so you know when I produce another video. Take it easy, guys. Thank you for everything, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.